Hey everyone, how you doing? Thank you for joining us. Mark here from Massive, coming at you today with our massive music moments at a newish time. Help bring some of our UK and Euro friends into the mix. So excited to chat to everyone today, get some tracks playing, chat about how everyone's music's going, what's been happening in their lives, get them to introduce themselves, and just talk all things music. As always, here with my co-host Shay. How you going, Shay?
Hello, I'm good, thanks. How are you going?
Great, great. I'm excited to meet a whole bunch of artists that we haven't had on here before and a few that we have. I'm going to throw to Nick first. How you going, Nick? Welcome.
Good morning. Hey, Mark. Hey, she? No, what's your name? Sorry. No, I'm butchering
Shay.
name. Shay, sorry. Don't want to butcher names again. Yeah, I'm very good. Thanks for the invitation. It's the first time, I think, in your space. Yeah, we seem to be spread out all over the world today. And yeah, I'm very curious for the conversation. Hey, Alice. Hey, Craig. And yeah, all the other people in the room. Let's get going.
Absolutely, and anyone jump in at any point. This is a free for all. So, Nick, introduce yourself. I'm curious to hear a bit about your background and what you're all about.
Yeah, sure. So I'm Nick. I'm a musician, an artist. I've always been, and I've been. I started in crypto NFTs at the end of 21 when everything really took off. But I wasn't creating in the music movement yet. So I was just NFTs was my entry to crypto, and yeah, I was. degen, let's say. And yeah, I stayed in the space ever since. I've been building and creating a lot, and freelancing and all kinds of things. And now I eventually, eventually brought me back to music. And yeah, since the beginning of the year, I'm really embracing Web3 music. And yeah, it was about time. It took me a while, but yeah, I think then it just clicked for me, and I really wanted to give it a go again, approaching it from a very different angle than I was used to. Because I mean, as I said, I've always been a musician, but yeah, doing it in the Web 2 style, and now yeah, I've changed it up completely and changed my like I said, my approach and how I want to build community and what we're going to talk about today, I guess. And yeah, I think it suits me much more now, and I really like it. I like connecting to all the people and artists, musicians, and just music fans. And I have no music NFTs out yet, but I'm preparing. I'm just taking my time. Yeah, getting to know the ecosystem and everything, and I don't see the point in rushing it, especially now, like considering the market situation. But it's not so much about that even. I just yeah, I do it when I think it's the right time for me, especially. And yeah, but there's so much happening in the space, and platforms are changing rapidly. So there are so many options and opportunities, and yeah, um, I'm getting prepared. In the meantime, I'm just a community member and joining other artist communities and really yeah participate because yeah, just enjoying it. um yeah, so much to myself. And but yeah, ask me any questions later.
Yeah, thank you, man, and thank you for jumping in. Yeah, if you got any tracks to play later as well, we'd love to hear it. I'm curious when you fully do launch your NFT and when we can hear everything and start minting some of your stuff.
Yeah.
All right, who should we? Sorry, you jump in, Nick. I cut you off.
No, I was just responding, but let's move on.
Shay, who do you want to talk to next?
Well, I was actually just going to ask Nick, is that a South African accent that I can hear?
I got that a few times, but no, it's not like. I spent some years in the UK, and I think this time was very influential, apparently. But now my accent seems to be all over the place. It's not South African. I'm actually German, and I'm in Germany at the moment. But I've been living, in the UK, and the last year spent in Mexico, and yeah, that's why it's all messed up. I guess my accent now.
Not messed up at all. Actually, I'm very brave for even asking that because I always get it wrong. So, sorry. But yeah, it does sound a little bit South African to me, but that's probably just me. But I'd love to say hello to Alice as well. How are you going?
Hey. And yeah, on the South African, I thought Nick was for the longest time, and then you explained, and I was like, wow. No, Nick, you've got such a cool voice. It's not messed up at all. I could listen to you all day. But no, I'm
Thank
good.
you.
Good. Yeah, pleasure. Nick's a legend in the space, and yeah, really excited for what you're going to drop because yeah, Nick just drops gems and just brings a really beautiful energy in whatever space he's in. So we love you, Nick. But yeah, I'm good. I got up this morning, did a little hit workout, got a coffee. The sun is shining. So yeah, happy to be here with you guys.
Are you in London?
I'm not in London. I'm like maybe 50 minutes on the train south of London in a place called Sussex. It's a county in the UK, kind of near Brighton. I was living in Brighton for like 10 years, but I moved more out into the countryside at the start of the year, which was definitely it was definitely good to have change because I think when you stay in one place too long, you just get a little bit stale. It's good to have those new experiences. I love Brighton. I'm sure a lot of you have probably been there because when people come to the UK, it's always Brighton because it's a vibe. But yeah, living out in the country has been really kind of nourishing. It's helped me kind of just reset. And I kind of actually, my whole Web3 journey has been since I moved. So it definitely, I don't know, it activated a really big change in me, just, changing my quarters.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, always so good to have you in this space as well. Your energy's amazing. And yeah, in saying that, I did go to Brighton Classic and it was a lot of fun. There's so much life there. It's a great place. Loved it. And
Who
also wanting, yeah, sorry, we haven't said hello to you yet, Craig, but so glad to have you on the space today as well. How you going?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you for the invite, Mark, and for us to be able to share what we are doing with the musicians in Web3. And I'll give you a quick little bit of background. I am a career senior business marketing executive in real life and transitioned over to Web3 January 2021. And, I've worked with, major industries in Australia, mainly with, Major League Baseball, the Australian Football League, Australian Baseball League, and different organisations in a senior management and executive role, mainly from a marketing perspective. But, branched out to explore a future in Web3, and it brought me to the metaverse, which is my passion. And then, MetaRights was born from that. And the connection that we have to the musicians in Web3. We've got over 150 connections in Web3 musicians, and a percentage of those are listed on our upcoming launch of MetaRides Radio, which is our in-vehicle and in-gaming radio platform. So it's super exciting for us to be connected to the musicians and to be able to provide you with an avenue to monetize through the metaverse. So it's royalty free. We don't take any percentage of sales of anything that's generated for the musicians in the web, in our platform. So it's just super exciting for us to be able to provide this back to the musicians and help you guys monetize and get what you deserve for the talents and the crafts that you have. A lot of the musicians have spent over 20 years grinding and still haven't made any money. So, whatever we can do to facilitate bringing some of that revenue into you, we are all for that. And we have no expectations of any return in terms of revenue. So yeah, it's exciting, but I won't take up too much of your time. We'll get into talking later, but yeah, thanks for the invite. It's a pleasure to be here.
Who are you working with at the moment, out of interest, Craig? Like, I think your ethos there is obviously pretty well aligned across the space in helping artists. I'm sort of curious who you're working with and if you're still looking for other artists.
Look, we've got attached to our platform so far, we've got who we're connected to: Nessie, Violetta, Sammy Arriaga, Ray Isla, Josh Savage, Cameron Ferguson, Crypto Casually, Copperstone, JetX. There's if you jump on our website, you can see a selection of those musicians. But ultimately, we want to have all of the musicians on the radio in some way. It'll be broken down into genres as we move forward. When we first launch in the next month, it'll be one specific radio station. You also have the opportunity to put little 10 and 15-second promotional clips in to tell people about yourself and, say, hey, this is Nick Cosmos, you're listening to my next NFT track that's about to be dropped and things like that. So we just want to provide whatever we can to facilitate, helping the musicians grow in the space, bring awareness to them. Our gaming platform is launching on Steam, but we have plans for it to be on PlayStation and Xbox and other platforms. So it's just an exposure and branding activity also for your music to play in our game and somebody to resonate with that. And, you can buy it direct from within the environment by the simple click of a button. It's a direct contract between the user and the musician. It's linked directly back to the link that you provide us with where you want people to go to purchase your material and your art. So as I said, it's zero royalty for Meta Rides and there's zero cost for you to be on the platform. So it's just our way of recognizing your efforts and saying we appreciate what you're doing in the space and we want to grow with you and help you grow as well. So it's pretty cool. The technology is amazing. Our developer was the lead developer on the games Forza for EA Sports. So super talented developer, and he just brings so much to the metaverse and so much to these metaverse assets that we're going to provide for everyone. And sorry, I didn't really even answer your question. I'm working for Meta Rides. That's it. This is full time.
Awesome. Yeah, that's super cool. All right, I got a bunch more questions for you. I did quickly want to throw to you, Mr. Brian. I know you put out your track Ocean the other day. I saw that pop up. How's that been going for you?
Oh, it's been amazing, and bro, it's been mind blowing to be honest. And that's the power of having a community behind you, and just people who love your music and are willing to go that extra mile to put that ETH, TES, or whatever crypto it is, to also support. And Ocean, speaking of, it's been amazing, and also here to connect with other musicians in the space. And hey, maybe if you are not making that sales, if you're not getting that recognition, your music isn't going, just keep striving, to be honest. And also here to learn and also, keep myself going and keep connected with the family. And bro, it's been cry. I don't even know what to say, bro. Like, I'm out of words, man. Ocean has been going awesome, and just willing to see where we go from here, and maybe shows, events in future would be awesome. So yeah, but GM massive, and share everybody, Nick, Craig, and everyone. Hope your day is going great. Happy to be here. Oh my, I think
Are we going to hear you play this track later or what?
Oh, I got it. I got it for sure. I can refresh the room with Ocean for now, and then we get the vibes going. But Ocean is actually an educational song also, where it's telling you to keep your environments clean while also having fun with the music and just having a great time. So this is Ocean. Hope you love it.
Yeah, Mr. Brian. Hey, yeah. Don't leave your trash in the open. Gotta learn to control it. Cleanliness is necessary, godliness is why we chosen. And you see that we got motion. Don't leave your trash in the open. Gotta learn to control it. Cleanliness is necessary, godliness is why we chosen. And you see that we got motion, moving out the state, yeah. Do it all in faith, that we find what we want, so we know it's not in vain, yeah. Down by the ocean, I'm sipping on champagne with my team, man. The circle's small, I know you can relate, yeah. Don't leave your trash in the open. Gotta learn to control it. Cleanliness is necessary, godliness is why we chosen. And you see that we got motion, moving out the state, yeah. Do it all in faith, that we find what we want, so we know it's not in vain, yeah. Down by the ocean, I'm sipping on champagne with my team, man. The circle's small, I know you can relate.
Yeah. Let's go, baby. That was Ocean, and hope you love the song. Hope you enjoyed it. Back to you, Matthew.
Mark's the new Darius with the
I'm trying. I don't know. I pressed the wrong button, then I unmuted myself. I don't know what was going on. I'm trying to do the sound effect thing. I'm not good at it.
Oh my god, that's amazing. Just so everyone else
Now I'm
understands.
stuck on the sound effects. I don't know how to get out of it.
Well, there was some kind of effect.
Thank you. I'm glad you all loved it.
The clapping effect. So basically, usually when we host in the morning for us anyway, it's US market, and our amazing co-host Darius joins, and he's always got like, after every song, he's like, bow, 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 with claps and all this stuff. So Mark just attempted it. It was great.
There's an awkward pause as well. He would be laughing at me.
Oh, thank you all so much.
That was a clappable song, though, Mr. Bryant. Thank you. That was actually dope. Thank you. I really dug that.
Yes, I love
I really
that
appreciate
song.
it.
That's going to be stuck in my head now. Don't you waste in the ocean. So good, thank you.
It takes some skill to master this soundboard, doesn't it? Yeah, cool song, Brian, and a nice message as well. Also happy to be in the same space finally.
Oh man, finally hearing from you, Nick, and it's been a pleasure. And thanks so much, family. And you know, man, music is food for the soul, to be honest. And meeting other great creators who also do same, and just here to learn, and also keep going, and also keep connected, and see where we can go with this. So back to you, Shea, and the amazing host, and Nick, GMJ, I see J Streets too. Everybody, man, hope you're having a wonderful day. Let's go, baby.
J Streets, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for jumping on the stage. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm good. I'm happy to join everyone in this page. Nice song. I'm happy to be here. What's up, everybody? Hope you're having a good time. And Mr. Brand, I like the music. Ocean. I always like that song, man. One of my top morning song. Yo. Okay, a lot.
Can we expect some music from you today, J Streets?
Yeah, I got some music I wanna play. Like, well, can I send it to you, or is there a way I can send it to someone? Because I have the links. I have
Yeah,
the
that's cool. You
music.
can send it. That's cool.
Okay. I have my music on Web3, Web2. Is practically everywhere on every platform. All right, I'll just send it to you. Nice for having me in this space. Nice, great one.
Cool. So while you're sending that to Mark, just send it through to the Massive page and our DMs, and we can get that queued up for you. I'm pretty excited to introduce Whale as well. Whale, we haven't talked to you in ages, actually, because we usually don't host in your time zone. So excited to hear your voice. How have you been?
Yeah, been cool, man. So excited to hear everyone's voice too. I'm grateful to to bring me up in this space so I could get more closer to my community using Web3 and making the community more friendly to my environment. Yeah, it's been good.
So good. Yeah, always welcome. We always like to talk to all different people in our spaces, all different artists here, all different music. It's what makes us so happy every week. It just reminds us why we're doing what we're doing and why we're building the platform that we are. And we will get into our topic in a little bit, which is really talking about community and how that is going to impact the music industry so much, how it is now and how it will in the future. So we're pretty keen to get into that. Whale, I really wanted to introduce you. You're up as a speaker, so how have you been?
Hi
Huh?
everyone. Sorry. Shia, did you speak with me? I didn't understand. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt anyone.
Oh no, that's okay. Yes, I was saying hello to you. How are you?
Hi everyone, Shia. Hi Massive. Thank you for bringing me up. I guess it's my first time here. I'm not sure of it, but thank you. And hi to Alice and Nick, my digital friends. And that's to be here to talk with you, with this great artist. I'm Will. We were listening to Ocean, and the whale came from the ocean of time and space. It's me, and I'm expert. Present myself a few words about my work for people who don't know me. I'm Will, experimental musician, and I would say multimedia artist from Italy, and in Web3 by hazard at the beginning of this year because I wanted to try out another way to explore digital art or digital art on web and on Web3, and then I discovered the community of NFT music, which I didn't know until 2023, and it's a great community. And since I'm an experimental musician, I really like to improvise, to try out a new way of making music, of making music with words, with sounds, with also with noises. And being on Web3 would also provide a way to create music and share it at the same time with the fans, with other people, and to transform it, transform the moment in music in a piece of art. And that's the, the beautiful part of Web3. That everything you create could potentially becomes something rare or something unique. And you can do it also on Web2 with Bandcamp, for example, or with Spotify. But on Web3, it's all you can record something in Twitter Space and then mint it on it's a piece of art, and that's the beautiful part of it. I really like it. I also dropped a bunch of pieces of my own, and I'm excited what the space could become in the future. So thank you for your work, and thank you. I'm really happy to be here.
Yeah, that's so exciting. One thing I did just want to say, Whale, is we have spoke to you before in a space, but it would have been when we were Ocean Floor Music, so we actually had a rebrand. So that may ring a bell to you, yes.
Yes, yes. That it does ring a bell. Yet now I'm sure that I already spoke with you. Yeah, that's yeah. It definitely rings a bell for me.
Ding
I'm sure you've
ding.
been in a lot of spaces, but I remember you because you're very memorable and I heard some of your music and it was great. So yeah, so happy to have you on. It's just amazing to connect with you all as usual. And yeah, I think we're pretty keen to get into some of the topics. So Nick, I was really excited to talk to you about this because I think I mean, just hearing from you then, you're quite new to the Web3 music space, but your tweets are really insightful and you're very passionate and knowledgeable in the space. So what's your outlook on community and how have you felt that that's affected your, I guess, experience with music coming into Web3 space where community is so important?
Yeah, great question. Thank you. Well, I think my, let's call it maybe advantage is that I might be quite new to the music space, but I've been like involved with NFTs and the whole Web3 environment for quite some time, right? That's why it didn't feel like overwhelming to me anymore. And I also saw Web3 from many different angles, if you can call it like that, because Web3 music is one thing, but it's very different to other niches in crypto, like the freelance niche or DeFi and all of that, right? And I got a bit of exposure there as well because I just got really, really curious about the space as a whole, not just the music side and the opportunities it can offer there, but also just the technological side. And I learned a lot about Bitcoin, DeFi, and all of this, and that's how I got my education or did a lot of research. And then when I eventually took the plunge and embraced music, I could kind of apply everything I've learned in other areas and translate it to music. And that goes for community building, for example. I think it's the same principles everywhere. Even in physical life, if you build communities, it's like all built on similar principles. And so for myself, what I've changed is I'm kind of putting all eggs in one basket at the moment. I know people saying don't do that, and I understand that, but I think for the first stage it makes sense like to just focus on one platform. And in my case, I just focus, like all of us, right, more or less on Twitter, because that's just where like all the relevant people that understand the concept of NFTs and Web3 are. And so in my opinion, this makes sense for the first stage. And then, of course, you should always branch out. And especially if you have other socials that go well, or Instagram or TikTok, then use this right from the beginning and talk to the people there. But yeah.
Sorry, Nick. I think something happened there.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
My mic got muted. So what? Oh shit! I don't even know what you still heard. Well, let me know where I cut off, and then I get going.
You were just saying about
Start
keeping
from
social media.
when you said platforms like Instagram.
Oh yeah. So I was saying, like, if it's going well for you on other socials like TikTok and Instagram, then I think it's great to keep it going there and to especially spread the word about what you're building, like in Web3 and music NFTs, right? But in my case, I've neglected these socials for way too long. So I think now I'm just focusing on this group of people that really understands the concept and build it from there. And then, of course, I want to include the other socials again. And because one of my mission, if you want to call it like that, that is like definitely to spread the word, right? That's what I'm doing like every day on Twitter. I write all these tweets and try to educate people and talk to people. But it's just also very, very difficult to find the right tone outside of Web3, right? That someone's willing to listen. I'm also curious, like some artists in the space, if they could share, like to what extent their Web2 audience like transitions into what they're building in Web3. Maybe Alice or so could share a bit about that, because I'm really curious. Because Alice, for example, or other people, they're very active on other socials as well. And so to what extent all the collectors translate to a mint from Web2, I think that would be very interesting. data actually, if it's even worth it talking to them, or if it's just wasted energy. But I know it's never wasted energy, but I think it's very important to know where to focus, right? Where your energy is spent best, right? That's just what I'm saying. And in my case, I think it's best spent on Twitter at the moment. But I'm curious, how much Web2 translates to the Web3 environment at the moment for other people.
Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, we got you.
Okay, I didn't know if I was rugging slightly. Yeah, no, Nick, everything you're saying, I'm really, really resonating with, and to be honest, like it's funny that you observe that I'm active on other social media, because to be honest, I feel like I've been really not active on other social medias. Like I've kind
Or
of
more than me.
maybe a bit more than you, Nick, but yeah, to be honest, I only really use my Instagram to post memes. That's basically what my Web2 artist career has gone down to now. But no, I definitely I'm just focusing on Twitter now because, as you said, Nick, you know, that's where the community is right now. And it's not to say that it won't build on Web2. I guess my kind of long-term thinking with this is because I already have quite a scattered brain. I think if I scattered my energies too much, I need to, you know, continue posting on TikTok or Instagram, Facebook. It's already too much, you know. So I'm kind of, you know, streamlined on Twitter right now, building there. And then once my collection is done, the answers collection, that's kind of been my training ground that I've kind of been learning as I go, as I've been releasing. I've done it in quite an abstract way than I think most artists coming in. It's been a bit of a risky process dropping so much at once from the EP. But, you know, I've learned so much on the way that when I do then start talking about it to my Web2 fans, because they are still there and they do still interact with me when I, you know, post things very rarely, whether it is responding to a meme, you know, they're still there. And I do feel a bit bad that I've neglected that. But I hopefully by, you know, the end of maybe in a couple of months, I'll be at a point where I can really then start focusing on, you know, explaining what releasing music on chain looks like and what that process has been for me, and hopefully inspiring other artists to do the same, because I have so many incredible artist musician friends that would just absolutely thrive here. But I don't feel at a place yet where I could fully, you know, I could fully break it down in a digestible way for them, because I feel like I'm still digesting it, you know, myself. So yeah, my kind of plan is maybe in a month or two to really then start focusing on talking about the blockchain and releasing music in this way a bit later. But it definitely, yeah, you can't kind of spread yourself too thin when you enter this kind of space, because it does require so much focus, you know. And hopefully, you know, those people that us fans on Web2 won't disappear, but and even if they have done, you know, I think coming back in with this newfound knowledge, with in a way a rebirth to our own artist projects, we're gonna by default, you know, with physics or whatever, just attract a whole new kind of group of people anyway. So yeah, but my mission is I have very talented musician friends and I just see them kind of struggling and I'm like, damn, I really want to, you know, explain it in a way that isn't scary for them. But yeah, that's kind of what we're all aiming for, is a very streamlined pitch to both, you know, our fans, people that like our music, and our fellow musician friends. So yeah, that's my food for thought this morning.
Yeah, so I think you're doing it perfectly because, like you said, you're using it as a training ground right now, your first collection, and the way, you know, you keep trying out different approaches and different platforms, whether it's with sound or I believe Showtime or so. And it just takes time to really understand the whole environment, to get in the picture, get familiar with everything and the culture, and then especially finding your voice, right? If you're one of your goals is to talk to your wider audience, then that's really the key, to find tools or the right vehicle, whether or language. And it comes down to language and communication, to really be articulate about what you want to tell them, and not to scare them off or put them off. And that's that definitely takes some skill and especially time to just to arrive there.
Yeah, you have to really embody this knowledge. And I'm still at a point where, yeah, as you said, I'm experimenting. You know, I've only dropped on Sound. I'm planning to do a floor drop with Nifty as my next thing. So that's going to be a whole learning curve, you know. So yeah, I think if we're going to go out to the wider world, it needs to be really kind of embodied in us, you know, what we're doing and what we're intending to put across, as opposed to just, oh, I'm releasing music NFTs. You know, there's so much more to it than simply that. So yeah, I see there's a lot of hands.
Yeah, please, anyone jump in. Mr. Brian, I think you had your hand up first, but please feel like you don't need to put your hand up as much in this space. It's super free flowing. Just jump in when you can.
All right, thanks so much, and it's a wonderful conversation, and thanks for what you said, Alice. And to add to that, too, me myself, my experience, I've also been struggling. It's not like everyone has everything figured out, right? That's why we all keep joining the spaces to also learn constantly, and seeing from other musicians in the space. Some still constantly focus on their Instagram communities and other communities. And truth be told, Twitter is the place where your voice as the artist can actually be heard, where you hop into these rooms and then find like-minded individuals. But platforms like Instagram, TikTok, it's like it's more different. It's more different there, but then it's for me how I've learned is about you have to find the balance, and you should. Because they are all necessary, if you ask me. They all help one way or the other. And me as the artist, where I'm thinking is, listen, I want to be having shows, events and stuff, right? And for me to onboard people into the NFTs, I'm like, hey, listen, for those who own my music NFTs, I've not reached there yet, right? This may be a wild thought, or it may happen soon, but I'm seeing it as like, okay, so even I think what we are doing, the mistake is calling having the terms for the stuff. Because when I'm trying to explain it to my regular friends, I'm like, bro, listen, you do music, right? So take it as this. Okay, first of all, when those days when you drop music, you had merch out, you had things out for people to support, right? They couldn't get them because PayPal had restrictions in their countries, blah blah, right? But then right now, it's easier. The person can just send Ethereum, can just like whatever platform you are on. It's just about letting the person know. And I think that's the education process is what will take time, because it's still a new thing, and with time it will get there. But for instance, like I was saying, say like a show, right? I have an event and I'm like, hey, all those who have my VIP NFTs, or all those who have my NFTs, they have like unlimited access. Then to have that ordinary person, or Web2 in quotes person, standing in the crowd, be like, hey, what's this going on? Like, okay, so you just hold the NFT and then you are like, you have a lifetime access. Then you to be bringing the person's like curiosity more. I'm like, these little things that we the artists do to get the people involved without them necessarily knowing that they are involved. And then that's when the questions start coming. And it may be difficult, but I don't know, like I've also been having this headache, and I want to hear from other artists in here. So I'll pass it to the hands, and I'm also ready to learn, because it's very hard. And Alice, oh my god, Nick, oh my god, man, it's crazy. But we'll get there, and maybe I'll pass it to you, Shia, so that we'll hear from these other artists. And
I just
see the
just
best.
wanted to add to what you were saying, Mr. Brian, and I feel like from what I gather you're saying, it's very much case more so as the artist, just almost like live by example, in terms of if you're doing something and you're sharing what you're doing, that is gonna, other artists will see that and they're gonna ask questions, as opposed to like, which may be the approach I was going wrong a bit before with my best friend, who's an incredible musician. I was like, babe, like this is next level, like you need to look at this, like just check this out. And I was just really like so excited for her to check it out. But I think that becomes overwhelming for someone. So it's more so now she is just more asking questions, because she knows what I'm doing, and I'm not forcing it on her, out of my like, come on. So yeah, definitely taking the approach of just more so, hey, this is what I'm doing, and then you become, a magnet for people to then inquire. So those were just my extra thoughts.
Yeah, this is definitely how you can show someone that what we're doing here makes sense. If you can talk as much as you want about it, but if you can't show them, then it'll always stay abstract to them, and they'll always question, okay, but what is this now? But if you can show them, I have, I've released this music. I had these 5 drops, or then you don't even use the word drop, but you show them like that you, released this music and you sold it out and you made even a bit of money from it, and that's just one part, right? And on the other side, you also, you have now 50 people following you, 50 people you can talk to daily, 50 people you can, ask for their opinions and just like make part of your process. Then that's really what counts. But like this is the best thing I think we can do to just like you said, Alice, like lead by example. Otherwise, it'll just not make any sense.
Yeah, sorry to cut in before maybe we'll get to the next speaker. But yeah, speaking of these things, because like I've worked with like dancers, right? And then they don't really want to have anything, like they don't know anything that's going on. So it's like they see you selling and everything, and they're like, they have questions, so it's like, how do we break it down for these people? So I mean, that's the thing. And I'm sure with time, you just building, maybe including it in your shows and events, and even merchandise, right? Because maybe you can be like, hey, you own my, and I know there is artists also here who are doing, you have great, artists already here who are doing, you can have Violetta, Sammy, I know songs, like you have lots of them in the building, Nick, Alice, yourself, Craig, and Satwick, Will. Bro, I'll just pass it to you, and let's learn, bro. Not to talk too much, but it's amazing.
Before I throw to someone else, Nick, I just wanted to say, like, when you said 30 new people to talk to, what is your strategy at the moment now? And this is a question to all the artists. What are you using to actually like control your closed community? Whether that, not control, that sounded like the wrong word, but I guess communicate with your closed community. Is it through Telegram, Discord? Obviously, we've got Twitter where we build, but yeah, I'm curious to know that.
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. I think it's also very individual because you have to find the tools that suit you best, meaning, whether you build on Twitter or communicate on Twitter, Discord, or Telegram, or whatever you choose. Or then it's not just your decision either, but like where the people you connect to feel are most comfortable. Or in my case, I think one of the best thing you can do is just get on calls and speak to the people, right? Because I really want to get to know the people. Anyone I find interesting, I can learn so much more from them if I connect to them on the phone and just have a conversation, right? Whereas DMs are good and you can talk there as well, but it would just not have the same depth. So I think that's something really good. If anyone anyone I find inspiring, I really want to. This is for me what makes this space, like finding all this inspiration. And I don't even care whether someone's a musician or creating in any other area, because I'm just, as soon as I see someone with a vision or someone creating something that resonates with me, I feel like, cool, I want to get to know this. I want to get to know this guy or girl. And so yeah, what was the question actually? So yeah, I like to do calls, and I have a love and hate relationship with Discord. I think at some point it definitely makes sense. In my case, it doesn't make sense yet. I think Discord is a great tool to start with when you have a project that's already, or when you're starting a project or something that's already going. Then you can transition to Discord, because then you need a place where you can be more organized and like really structure the project, and also, I don't know, just structure everything, whether it's with the people and project related. That could be on Discord or Telegram. And right now, my platform is just Twitter and video calls or phone calls. But this is just the stage I'm in at the moment. And then there comes a time when Discord might become relevant, or a new platform, who knows, right? It's always changing.
Can I just add on to what Nick was saying there quickly? Sorry, and I'm not a musician, so I can't speak about how you bring your Web2 musicians into the space. But I'm a massive researcher into Web3, as anybody in this space knows, and have been here for almost 3 years. And from the marketing side, that's my experience. And I think there's a complete difference, right? People need to understand that there's a complete difference between community and customer. And I think this is where a lot of people are going wrong in the Web3 space. Now, if you are just out there searching for customers to buy your music or buy your NFTs, that's completely different to building a community and adding value to what people are doing, right? There's a clear, distinct difference. And I think what we need to look at is, it doesn't matter what platform you're using, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Instagram, whether it's TikTok, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Discord. As long as you are showing up every single day and you are present and your community can see you, they can engage with you and they can interact with you and they can learn who you are as a person, which is why Twitter Spaces is so important, because the written word is so easy to misinterpret than hearing somebody speak verbally. So when somebody comes in and speaks, you can hear the integrity in their voice, you can hear the education in their voice, you can hear the experience in their voice, and you can hear the humility in their voice. And I'm going to use Sammy Arriaga as an example here, and only because he's in the room right now. I say this all the time. Pay attention to what the successful people in the space are doing with their social media, right? And if we go through and we have a look at Sammy Arriaga's history over the last 12 to 18 months, he is here every day. He shows up every day. He gives more to his community than he takes from his community. And the biggest thing with Sammy is he has managed to sell out 2 collections in a bear market, right? And I can tell you why he does that. Because he's here, he shows up, he's the most humble man you'll ever meet, he is the most honest man you'll ever meet in this space, he is an amazing musician, he gives value to the space, right? And every single person in the world resonates with music in some way, right? Music is the key to your soul in some way, whether it's a song that you've used to get through a tough time, whether it's something you've written yourself from the heart, whether it's something you've used to deal with. Everybody resonates with some form of music. So the statistics show, and I can send anybody the statistics on this if you want, Web3 music is going to be in the top 3 genres of the NFT and Web3 space for the next 2 to 3 years, right? So, and this is recorded space. Come back to this in 2 to 3 years' time when you're all successful and say, hey, Craig told us this, because surround yourself with people that add value to what you are doing, right? And if you aren't connected to these people that are adding value to you and you're adding value to them, you got to give as much as you take. And a lot of the people I see in this space, not so much musicians, all they care about is selling their NFTs. Every tweet they put out on Twitter is about, go to my link, buy my NFTs, buy my shit, do this, all the stuff about buying NFTs. That's not what people in this space want when it comes to community. When it comes to community, they want to see Sammy Arriaga posting a heartfelt message about something that's happened in his life. They want to see him posting about, yes, here's my sound XYZ, I'm minting tomorrow. That's what people want. They want to connect with you. They want to build that interpersonal relationship with you so they can support you. And that is what community is about, right? Give more than you take from people and you're going to be successful in this space. But make sure you're surrounding yourself with the quality people that add value to what you're doing. Filter through the bullshit, filter through the white noise, and focus on what's important to you in growing your brand, right? And don't call yourself a project, right? When you say I'm dropping NFTs, I want to hear everybody in this space from a marketing perspective to say, I'm building a brand. The Nick Cosmos brand, the Alyssa brand, the Mr. Brian brand. You're not here to drop an NFT project because that's what PFP people do. You're here to build a brand around who you are and the music you provide and the value you are bringing to the NFT space and the Web3 space. So, I can't reiterate that level of importance about understanding the difference between community and customer.
Yeah, you're so right, Craig. I think that's a very important differentiation. Whether, a PFP project, they talk about their brand, their product, their service, or whatever they're building, whatever utility, if any, have to offer. But we as musicians, we are the brand, right? So in the best case, like you said, we shouldn't even feel the need to shill our music all the time, to post links, because we should tell about our story, about ourselves, or about some perspective we have, our vision, something else, but advertising our music, and people will find the music. If people are interested enough, they'll get there anyway. They'll find you, right? And I think people are also, well, at least myself, I'm tired of I don't want to hear someone like tweeting all the time about their drop, because yeah, I know it, and if I'm interested enough, I'll find my way there, and maybe I'll be minting something. But rather tell something about yourself, like what's behind the music. There's so much. It just goes back to finding your voice again, like how you want to share it. And yeah,
Absolutely.
go on, Craig.
And if you notice something that I just did, right, and this is something that a lot of people won't even notice what I just did, but I would notice if you did it, because I'm a marketer. So I just shilled 5 minutes for Sammy Arriaga, right? He doesn't have to say a single word to promote his brand, right? Why? Because I connected with him, he built a relationship with me, and he adds value. So I'm going to get out here and I'm going to tell everybody how successful he is and what he's doing in a bear market. And he doesn't need to shill. He doesn't need to go out there and sell community all these people his NFTs, because he's got 50,000 people that follow him, and every one of them is out here talking about how good Sammy Arriaga is. Now, when you start building that level of community and that level of relationship with your people, your brand flows, right? You automatically get brand recognition everywhere you go. Sammy doesn't have to get into a space and shill his project. He can come into a space, simply say hello and sing a song and move on, right? That's perfect, because there's so many other people in the space, and I'm only using Sammy as the example. You know, we could say Violetta, we could say Ray, we could say Emma, we could say Alyssa, any of you, but I'm just using Sammy as the example that when you build that community, they are going to talk about you because they resonate with you, and they're touched by your story. They're touched by who you are and the 20 years of hard work you've put in to get to this stage where you're trying to make a difference for yourself. Right? That touches my heart, and I'm going to tell you every single time about Sammy Arriaga, about Jelly, who's in this room, and the project she's building, and about, you know, all the different people that I'm connected to. So it becomes another thing. And the biggest thing I want to say to you, right, when it comes to your Twitter profile, and this is from a community perspective, if I go to your Twitter profile and you've got 100,000 followers and you're only following 500 people, don't talk to me about community, because if you really supported your community, you'd be following as many of them back that you can to show that you support them as much as they support you. So community goes two ways. You can't take from your community and not give back to them. And I keep reiterating that point. So, you know, when somebody follows you, give them a follow back. It's the least courteous thing you can do, and it costs you nothing to do it, but it builds an engagement, because if you have a status in the space, right? So, for example, if someone in this room is not following Sammy Arriaga and they followed him now and he instantly follows them back, they get this sense of euphoria. Holy shit, Sammy Arriaga just followed me back. You know what I mean? So it builds that relationship and that connection instantly. You've got a supporter for life, right? It doesn't matter if they don't invest in your project. As they become more successful and they get more disposable income or revenue from whatever they're doing, the first project they're going to go and look at is Pixelated by Sammy Arriaga, or, you know, one of his songs, because they now have that connection to him. They now have that connection to Alyssa. They now have that connection to Nick or Mr. Brian or myself or to Massive as a platform. So build those relationships and those connections, and you'll be successful. There is no doubt you'll be successful.
Please, anyone with their hand up, jump in. Actually, now I'm speaking, I will say something. I do love your passion, Craig. It's amazing. And I do agree with you. Sammy and so many other musicians have done such amazing things for this space. for the Web3 space, and just yeah, it's quite admirable actually. They all have amazing stories, and yeah, it takes a lot of grit in this space. So
But use the essence I'm trying to say is use that story. So we've all been through struggles. We've all been through something in our life that's been a negative or affected us. Tell that story. Like I tell my story all the time about, losing my 14-year-old to suicide 10 years ago, right? I tell that story all the time because it's an emotional connection to people and they resonate with that loss. Everybody's experienced loss in life. They resonate with that. So tell your story, right? That's not about trying to make people feel sorry for you. It's telling your story so it builds that interpersonal, emotional connection to somebody. Now, if that ultimately ends up in a sale or an investment in your brand and you as a person, all power to you. But, it tells a story. And that's what people want in this space.
I think as well, that's just, on a human level, just every day when you meet people, I'm like naturally a very open person. Like I sometimes just overshare, naturally that's just how I am. But I do think that's important, when you open your heart and you're vulnerable, with where you're at within reason, not like you have to have some boundaries within yourself. But yeah, when you open your heart in an authentic, genuine way, you're sharing it. It gives permission for the other person or people you're around to open up to, because I think that there is a bit of a condition in humanity where to have an open heart is seen as weakness or it's too much or it's too intense. But that is what is needed, and not to, go all, everyone hold hands and have a big group hug. But it's true, the more of us that are walking our life with our heart open, the more everyone else is going to open, and hopefully, that will create a better world, So yeah, really love your passion, Craig, and really, really resonate.
Yeah, Alice, I agree. But what does oversharing even mean, right? If it means overstepping your own boundaries because, yeah, you I don't know, you ignored it, then it's probably oversharing. But other than that, if you don't overstep your self-instructed boundaries, then I think there's not such a thing as oversharing, as long as you have a kind of sense what's appropriate maybe to put out there. And if you don't like go on for 10 minutes monologue or something. But this is exactly what you want to share, right? You want to open up, you want to share about your story. And I think it just puts even more pressure on yourself if you constantly think about am I oversharing, am I not oversharing. As long as we respect our own boundaries, I think it's all perfect, it's all fine.
I think I get the oversharing thing from people, maybe close people in my life that aren't maybe as vulnerable or just as sensitive or open as me. So those voices still would go in my head of like, oh, you're just a bit intense, or you're just saying a bit much there. And in my adult life, I realized that's because they were suppressing themselves, So I'm glad that I've kind of kept that golden thread inside, which is no, always walk the path with your heart open to the people around you, to life. When you're walking around, look at the trees, appreciate the bird song that you can hear, that's so, so imperative. And it's, but yeah, back to, connecting with community. Again, it's keeping that same principle, is just go with your heart open. You might make mistakes. You might regret saying something, in a public space or whatever, but at least you're going in authentically and you're not suppressing yourself, because so many of us do suppress ourselves, so yeah.
So many hands up, jump in.
Sorry. No, it's because I know Satwik has also had his hand up, but if you don't mind, now to also add to what Alice, Nick, and Craig have been saying. Oh, so sorry for the background noise. Yeah, this all applies in human life perspectives, and sometimes I like to say, we are not robots, right? You are human beings, and sorry to say, you can't please everyone, you can't be there for everyone. At least share what you can, and do what you can do best, and make sure when you are faulty, at least stand firm with it, like, okay, I'm wrong, what is next, like what do I do, right? And me like learning from where I've just been in this space. It's not even close to 2 years, right? I mean, in the NFT space, in the crypto space, but I've been doing music for as long as I can remember. And I've been watching YouTube, and even speaking of YouTubers, just hearing motivational stories and, from various content creators from various platforms. It's all about getting down to being yourself, and you can see people even doing like daily vlogs showing people their life story, and people just resonate so much with this. That's what just changes their lives, and you see they end up doing it for years, and it just goes. And I'm like, okay, so I started this even NFT space. First of all, I didn't even start with music NFTs, right? I just saw some randoms, like, everyone came in thinking you can make money in the next few days. And listen, had to learn, you have to stick to your path, right? What you do, what keeps you going, what is your passion? And for me, that's the music, right? So it's like, okay, now I've chosen is the music, and it's like, okay, I've been doing music for so long, I've been wanting support, and now people are actually here to support. So it's about just doing what you do, and with the people around, tell them what you want to do, keep them involved in the journey. And I believe that's what will keep you going, because when you look at even great people in the music industry, right, they just tell their story through the music, and boom, they are gone. So it's like, bro, don't stress too much, like, to be honest. And even, I know, Craig, you spoke about even Sammy's story, right? But even from even my little coming forth from my building, right, I had this pal from Indonesia, I think, uh, and we connected on Twitter here, right? And he's been supporting since this year. For this last year, we met. I knew him since I think 2022 or so. Can't remember the exact time we met, but like, bro, he's been supporting, not always been ready with the funds to support, right? But then just recently, this day, I know, I remember a time ago, he sent me a message like, bro, I love your music so much. I'll build up funds, and one day I'll be able to support. I'm like, oh, bro, I really appreciate that. And these kind words really keep me going, because where I'm from, Ghana here, to have your brother tell you, yo, I love your music, and like you drop your music and actually have your friends around you be like, hey, I'm going to share it, and bro, good luck. So it's like me finding that in this space. I'm like, nah, bro, it's different. So it's like, nah, just keep doing what I'm doing. And those who resonate with me, they'll really tap in. Those who don't, I'm sorry, but it's not all the people in their life. There's billions of people. I can't please everybody. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's what I realized then. Just telling the story through the music, doing what you do, and what I've heard from you all in here so far is really, I've really felt like, nah, I'm not wrong for feeling that way, like for feeling like, nah, I just have to keep doing what I'm doing and tell my story through the music. And even thinking of the point to where I've even opened YouTube channels trying to do daily vlogs or something, even though I'm not too consistent with that, but at least letting people in on your story. Like, you go to the studio as a musician, be like, hey, I'm going to the studio today, I'll do a live session, come join. And maybe those who own the music, and that's how it gets involving and fun, and then you wouldn't have to be stressing too much. That's how I've learned. And I would really love to hear if that's the good way I'm doing. Bro, it's crazy, and thinking all these is oh my god, man. But I'll pass it to Satwik, or one of you. Maybe you can also have the floor.
Thank you, Brian. Absolutely love that. And I actually met Brian in one of the spaces couple of weeks back, and yeah, it's awesome to see creators coming together, sharing their experiences, and I feel like there's a lot to learn. There's a lot of value in that, and it's especially Alice is an awesome creator. She's also amazing artist. So I really have respect for everyone who does their work. And I know you were saying that your social media is like not looked at or something, but it is. Like I am looking at it. I'm seeing what you're doing, and it's amazing. Also, Nick here too. He writes awesome threads and awesome posts. I thoroughly enjoy them, and I really, again, respect like all the artists that are putting the value in the space. I had my hand up for a while, so there's a couple topics I wanted to talk about. First one that almost every space is about is community and onboarding to Web3, and it's I feel like it's a little redundant to a point because I feel like we've said a lot about it, but a lot less is done for it. And a lot of artists that are here, only a few of them are actually using the resources in Web to get people. And if they're saying that they're selling NFTs, that's a very bad approach, especially in the market that we're in right now with what's going on. Like, I try to attract people with my music, and then I tell them that I am forming a community. It's on Web3. And I never mentioned NFTs because NFTs are a tool to me. And Nifty Sacks wanted to steal this ideology that I had, that like, a chef doesn't say that he uses the pan. He says that he works at a restaurant. So that's the thing. We are in Web3. We don't sell NFTs. We don't use NFTs. NFTs is just a tool for us, but we can't just say that, we sell NFTs. No, we're building a community. And then we switch to the topic of what channels you use. I actually have a community over at XRPL where music NFTs are very new, and most of the people that are in my community, they are either project founders of other things, access to their communities. So they invite me over for concerts and stuff like that, which is awesome. None of them had ever owned a music NFT before. So it's for them to have it and them to see that I'm performing at this metaverse, or I'm going here, or you minted my NFT, now you get a free beat. So if you're a content maker, you can use it with commercial rights. That's the value they're seeing from music NFTs. And I love that because I've been in the PFP space for a long time. Music NFTs is nowhere to be seen. But when an artist comes across PFP community, I think he can educate a lot, and he has to set an example. So they do invest in music NFTs and in other artists. Like, my girlfriend's an artist as well. So I told them, guys, go check her music out. She's going to form a community around it. She needs your help to gain more people. And these people are like project founders of other things. So you have access to a bigger community of people. So yeah, that's a very interesting approach, I think, that I took, because I'm specifically targeting people who have influence to help spread the word about music NFTs. What I'm building in itself, getting people to music NFT in itself is a kind of an onboarding, because they don't know what it's like. Because I've been a part of PFP communities, and all you have is a Discord, and you like tab your chat. Okay, you go to spaces where the founder is going, but that's it. With music communities, we have a lot more things to offer. And once we do offer them, they change their mind about music NFTs. And it's a beautiful thing to see. So I personally am getting a lot of people from the PFP world into this. I'm going cross-chain to educate people about music NFTs, what my vision is. Because I personally don't want to onboard more artists to make it attractive, like you can come and you can get money. I feel like that's a very negative approach, and it will exhaust existing collectors. Instead, I think what we should focus is getting more collectors and fans to the space so that artists can see the value of a Web3 community.
Absolutely. I just want to jump in before anyone else does. I know that there's a few hands. Sorry, I just wanted to say it's quite funny that you say that, Satwik. I know that there's so many talks about community, and we've been hosting spaces for about a year and a half now, and we noticed the same thing. And even when we were building our NFT platform back in the day when we were Ocean Floor Music, it was the same thing. How do we introduce like non-Web3 adept people into Web3? It's clunky that even like communities, closed communities, I suppose, like Discord and Telegram, are super scary, I'd say, for someone that's not very advanced in the Web3 space. So that was why we made a massive shift for our business. Massive shift, sorry, didn't mean to use that pun. But we are building a community platform. So I don't know if we're seeing a lot of new faces in here, so I don't know if many people have actually heard about what we're doing, but I guess what we realize is that we need to cut back on the Web3 jargon and just bring a place, like make a happy place for artists and their collectors, fans, whatever you want to call them, to hang out. And I guess that will be a safe space for also non-adept Web3 people, and you can build there, and whether that will then be connected to your NFTs, sure, it could be, but hopefully it'll just be called your digital art or your digital song or whatever it's going to be called, and it'll just all drop. Like, it won't even be two spaces. it'll just be one warm, comfy place where everyone hangs out and talks about what really matters, and that is music, not the tech. So yeah, that's exciting. We can't talk about too much, but the other thing I do want to say, and we will get to the hand, sorry I'm rambling, but Alice is actually one of our artists that's joining us, and we're announcing her tonight. So I actually might post that on Twitter while this space is going, so everyone can share it on this space.
Yes.
Yeah, if I may chime in real quick before we end the space, just make sure you tell us a bit more about what Massive is like up to and what you're building. Now you've mentioned a bit, Shea, but yeah, I'd be very curious what you guys are building.
Yeah, definitely. I can give a little bit more of a spiel. I really don't like to make these spaces about us or like shilling the platform whatsoever. We like to hear from you guys, but I will go into more detail, and I'm sure Mark has a lot to add as well. We're pretty passionate about what we're doing. Our team just at least feels like a bit of a penny drop moment where it's like, this is what the industry really needs. So yeah, it's very exciting for us, and I'd love to share more with you. And anyone that has questions, just DM me as well. And I'd like to say hello to Julian. You were one of our guest speakers. Sorry, I've got your hand up. I know that.
Hey,
Yeah, hey. Sorry, we haven't introduced
what's
you.
going on here? Lovely people. Good morning for the London, UK. Actually, there is an amazing day in here. Hey, how's it going? What's good?
Hello.
Love the energy.
Anyway, well, that's me. I'm always like this. And for a moment, for an instant, let me be honest, because I always be, and sometimes I may be the crush of the spaces, but I really don't care. I love to say mine. For the moment, I was a little bit afraid when I come in here. I see all these stories. I said, is this a mental health, or are we speaking about the music progress, and how many hours are we spending in the studio working, creating our music? What software, what instrument are we using in there? Is there any form or some future collaboration? How we can increase this? Because, you know, guys, if I tell you, because last Saturday I lost one of my member in the family, and it was like, they take him from the street in a bag because it was difficult to, it will change something. It will change something to you? No. So let's speak about music. Let's speak about the power of the music, the love that you have in there, you know. I want to hear that vibe, that essence from where you come to create this. What did you do today? How many hours did you spend on that? On your own music, how you showcase your own music, because that's why we're here, right? So yeah, this is me. If you don't like me, stay aware, don't follow me, because otherwise you'll always find this kind of criticizing and true things, you know. But hey, life is so beautiful. And I mean, we speak music, right? Let's speak music, because Massive, you guys amaze me every time you change the name. I hope this is the final name. Because last time, you know, when I see the post of you, like, I need UK producer or, you know, musician, I said, there you go, it's me. But actually I didn't realize it's the same organization over there. And I was like feeling a little bit like an idiot when you guys told me, oh no, you know, we are the Ocean, but we just changed the name. I said, oh crap. I made it again. So by the way, happy to be here. I love in some way the environment, but I would really love to turn it up and be more focusing in the music, engagement with the music and all this kind of stuff. If you really, you know, if you think my thoughts are good, I'm very happy to join you guys, and thank you for the opportunity, and lovely to see you again, all of you. I know many. Song of Eden, you have to come up, you don't have to be shy. We were speaking in the DM. So yeah, I see Ozzy, I see Mr. Brian. Yeah, I know him a lot since the day when he come in there. Jay, it's here. Man, how many people, good people, are in here? So like, oh my God, let's talk about that. And I see the beautiful Sophie is here too. And thank you very much for the people who start following me now, you know, because I don't know what you find in my profile, but definitely you find good things in there, hopefully. So yeah, thank you so much. And Craig, good morning, dear. How are you?
I am good. How are you? But I did just want to clarify one thing for you. I know I love your passion. I love you. You know that. But, you know, and I love the way you want to push the envelope and get this into talking about music. But the space was developed and designed to be a space to talk about community and how community gets involved with your music and how you can use community for your advantage. So it wasn't a space dedicated to like music per se, if you know what I mean. So and again, I love you, you know that, and I'm just saying, you know, sometimes we have to get into spaces that don't talk about music or don't talk about blockchain. They talk about other things, and that's what this one was designed for.
Absolutely, absolutely agree with you. Agree with you. But the community defines your music career. I think that's like the right topic over there. So I'm so happy and so curious to observe more about you guys. To understand how do you create your amazing music? What do you do? What did you learn? What software did you find in there? What the new instrument that you use in there? With who you collaborate in there? Who's give you the inspiration to be today in here? So I think that's the most important thing that you really want to hear. I personally want to hear. So yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. Most of our spaces are just about the music, but this is our first one. Mark can definitely echo this. In probably about 3 months that we've talked about logistics. So that's all right. We're going to have a mix of both, but we hear you, and we're definitely going to get to the music soon because we have Jay Streets teed up. So Mark's going to play his song, and anyone else that would like to play their song, just let us know and we'll definitely get to that. I do want to get to the hands as well, though. Nate, please, you've had your hand up for ages. I'm sorry. How are you today?
No big deal. GM, everybody. I really was feeling the conversation. I snuck in here. It's 5 a.m. where I'm at, and I was kind of listening in bed. But the conversation got me so energized, I kind of sat straight up and ran to the computer to get on the real rig because, Craig, you really hit on some great points. I think the whole thing about we should just eradicate the word community. I mean, as a meta language, as a top level, when we talk about it in this kind of sense, where we're at now, it's great, but it makes for terrible sloppy copy, and it's also kind of it's really long, and I don't want to pay for Twitter Blue, and I'm just not going to. So we need to get that word chopped down to something manageable. But I think as a social proof culture, one thing that really counts huge is showing up. Because I look around the room, I see a lot of people that host spaces, and whether or not 2 people or 20 people show up, if you've been out here consistently, that's a form of social proof on its own. Whether or not you're a tech or an artist or any whatever your role is in this space, if you're someone that's been counted over a period of time, that counts huge, right? Because we want to measure people's values, not just the value of their NFT, but their personal value system and all the rest of that. And I think that's where we're very different than Web2, because that ethos is very important, and we want to know what you're about and how you participate, because that's really what it is. It's you have to participate first in communities and in this space before you can seek to have participants. And again, Craig had an excellent point about first, communities first and customers come later, because ultimately, if you do this the right way, in my opinion, you get close to the ground, you get a group of people, you get rooted in what the pain points are and what's really going on out here long before you try to pitch something. If you're a person that's doing a platform or something that's artist related, especially it counts there, because you really have to understand the pain points and what's been going on amongst the regs. So I think showing up, again, it just counts. So if you're not sure where to start there. Find people to lean in with, find spaces to support, start one yourself, because honestly, even if you only get small turnouts or you just get a couple of the core folks, those relationships are huge and they're very personal. And build it like a mixtape culture, hand by hand, one by one, and you'll get there. It just takes time, but each person that you win into your circle, it becomes your community on its own, with people that are highly engaged, that want to know what you're up to, and that will ultimately have your back for years to come here. In Bridging Web 2, it's a bit different because Alice had some excellent points too about you can't treat your socials as your therapist. I mean, you want to have intimate moments and things, but nobody wants to have you completely dump on them community wise. Your community is not your psychiatrist, right? I mean, you can use it as a therapeutic tool, but don't use it as therapy. And the last thing I would just say, because I really liked the points Julianne made, which was you have to spend time doing your art, and that comes down to time management, because I think we as creatives typically we get addicted to things, we tune in, we tune out, and we lose time like crazy because we get into those flow states. And that applies to social media too, Twitter itself. You do have to participate, you do have to be out here, but you also have to be mindful not to be doom scrolling and clicking instead of doing your art all day. I mean, and it's a tough balance, but again, you do have to kind of make equal parts for your art and for your life. Quite frankly, you have to schedule touching grass, you have to schedule keeping yourself well, because burnout is insane in this space. And ultimately, if you go too ham and then you end up losing months because you just have a mental crash or a break, which everyone I think who's been here for more than a year or two has gone through, that lost time is huge, because that consistency again of showing up, those long breaks in that will really do a lot to harm your visibility. So it counts a lot to pace yourself, to stick around, and to be here consistently, because we're watching, right? And big love to you guys. Thanks for having me up. Massive. I'm very excited to hear about the project and what you guys are working on. But I look around, I see a lot of great faces here, and I just want to give a shout out to that, because this is the community right here, and this is how you get your start and get your build, to listen to the folks that know some things. And for me as a non-artist, I just try to show up. I try to support, if not buy, because during this bull market, the people that are here and the people that you see are the ones to take note of, because again, their motivations are going to be different than the next bull run. So get involved, get in with the folks that are here, because these are the ones worth your time. And I appreciate you guys for letting me speak.
Thanks for jumping up, Nate. Super interesting insights. That's really dope. Your audio quality is next level too. So you may not be a musician, but the audio level is high. Well, you've had your hand up for a while. Do you want to jump in?
Yes, thank you. So I wanted to talk earlier, but I got internet problems, so I have to jump off. And Jen, I'm still waiting for your track, because I was asking to you to collaborate with you, and you wanted to send me a track that it was a few months ago. So I'm of your opinion. We have to collaborate, but
Yeah,
I still need
remember.
your track.
Yes, I
Yeah,
remember. Sorry, I
yeah,
was so busy in this time because, as I say, guys, I do have a very busy IRL life. I'm studying to uni in the same time, and all the event that's happening daily is like crazy. But yes, I remember. Please send me your email, and I will absolutely let's make it again, okay? If it's possible, bear with me. My bad. It's
any
not
rush.
like I don't wanna look like bad in here, but for real, it's like too many things was happening at the same time, man. So it's like crazy. I'm sorry. I
Any rush.
apologize for that.
Any rush at all. But I really loved your live session you had a few times ago with
I
us
have to
as
start
Student
again
Space.
with that. Yeah, you
And
know how many people DMs me for this? I have to start again. And yeah, they're totally in there. You can hear my craziness and the way we start to collab. And I think there are a lot of people in here, they can witness how many I just try to help as much I can, So absolutely promise for the next week, I will start again to do my things. And I will DM you exactly now again my email, and send me everything in there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So then I just don't want to steal too much time. Maybe if I can, I cannot play any song of me because I'm outside, but I can send us to someone else who can play one of my songs from my first album. Anyway, what I was missing in the community, maybe that's the reason really a platform for artists, I guess, because if you are looking at, for example, at Instagram, that's not a platform for artists. There are a lot of artists, but that's focused on other kind of topics. There are that's fashion and that's advertising. So for artists, there are, as I said, there are great artists, but that's not focused on art. In my opinion, and that's the same thing for Facebook. That's more gossip, in my opinion. That's really difficult to make you be noticed from other people, and also Twitter. It's some kind of a finance and political platform. So if there would be a social network just for artists, a little bit like Bandcamp, but with the possibility to interact really with people, would be great. So I think that's a big issue in also getting people on board in Web3, because there isn't a platform which is focused on music, just on music, on musicians, and where fan can find all kind of genre and could really connect with the people. And maybe with Web3 will be possible to have just this kind of opportunity. So that it was my earlier take I wanted to share with you. And yeah, thank you very much.
No, thank you. That's great points. Hey, I do just want to throw to Sammy really quick, then I'll get to you, Clint. Sammy does have to run in a sec, but Sammy has 23 years in the industry, so can you get your input?
I appreciate that, but Clint had his hand up way before I did, and I can wait just a little bit longer to hear what he has to say. So, Clint, go ahead, by all means.
Thanks, Sammy. I'll try to be really quick. As the co-founder of Massive, I've heard a few requests just to get a bit of insight on what we're doing and where we're at. But before that, I just want to lean in on where Julianne was at with talking about music. So, and then maybe a bit from Craig around being authentic. I think as a founder of a business in the bear market, it's been extremely difficult to raise funds to build technology. But we're still here 2 years later after being embedded, listening to artists, building tech, in Web3. But then, pivoting to find a space to make it easier for artists and fans to engage is something that we're absolutely building at the moment. That's what Massive is and where it's heading. Around music, just to give, outside of my only space to be able to find an opportunity to create music is maybe on a Friday evening these days, outside of being a co-founder of a tech startup with a family, a wife and 2 kids, and a team of really inspirational people trying to keep them motivated. I find maybe a couple of hours on a Friday night with a bottle of wine and hook up my bass guitar and amplifier and just ride away. So that's for you, Julianne. I thought I'd share that. And Craig, just the authentic part of being a founder, mate. Yeah, it's quite challenging at times, but super inspirational with the people that I work with and continuing to problem solve and building product that will make artists' lives easier. And I guess I've seen that vein over the last few years where I dive in and out of Twitter spaces, and it's like, it's so hard to be across all of these communities, and the burnout we've heard for over probably 18 months, and I got mentioned before, and that just kills us, right? It's just, it's the opportunity cost. Do you make music or do you build your community? And as soon as you lose focus on one, the other suffers, and it's like, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better platform. So our recent and last probably 6 to 8 months, we've been mapping out, building. We've engaged a world-class technology company based here in Australia and a product manager that some of you might have heard from before, who has built 480 tech products pushed them out the door into 9-figure businesses. He's interviewing artists on a daily, weekly basis to really get to understand where the pain points are, because everything that we build is there to try and make an artist's life easier. And a lot of that is the time management piece, so that you can create more, so that we can go out and create more music. And it is so inspirational to sit around. We've got a very lean team at Massive. We're about 11 full-time staff, and we have a few music ambassadors coming on board. We are always raising capital, building technology, but most importantly, we're listening to artists. That's why we're creating these spaces, to listen to you day in, day out, feel where the pain is, try and solve for those problems, and make it easier, right? I love that last comment. You know, there is no one social platform that is just music focused for artists and fans to engage, and that's where we are and what we're building. And we will start to, I think, in relation to the timelines and roadmaps, our official MVP of the product will be out the door mid-September. We are showing some artists behind the scenes and onboarding a few artists in the interim, just to get feedback in particular, and to start, you know, the migration of their fans as we build. And then each feature that we build will be based on the feedback that you guys give us, to go, if you implemented this one thing, that would make our life so much easier. And if we can quantify that and save you hours in the day, so you can create more art, spend more time, quality time on engagement, not frequency on engagement, quality time on engagement, and you can just keep making more art and doing the things that you love, and you know, being there available for your fans. And the word that has come out, I guess, we've talked about the word connection as a value proposition in our internal team for many months now, and it is the key word that resonates with everybody. And we started to mind map it a few weeks ago, and you know, the word connection, whatever that means for you. I've got a mind map sitting behind me in the office. I've got Mark and Shay sitting in another room, but there's about 100 things on there around the word connection and what that means. And you know, we want to bring you guys along the journey to be part of that connection, make your life easy, all your fans in one spot. You know, think of the MySpace of today, with the technologies that are at hand, and integrating the best parts of tech to make your life easy to connect, to monetize, and to just, you know, take your musical career to where it needs to be. We started this journey saying the 13% of revenue that artists earn globally is bullshit, and we love that the technology of blockchain allows for that new monetization piece. But we've just made it difficult for ourselves in the last few years to try and onboard the masses. So let's get that piece right. Come on the journey with us. Stay tuned in. We love this space. And just to come back to Julien's thing around talking about music, I think in the flavour of our spaces that Mark and Shay have been holding over the last few months, there have been probably maybe about 80% people getting up, singing, playing tunes, and the vibe is so good. But it is important that we do take a breath, discuss the problems, but not get stuck in the problems, because life's too short. Let's get busy, let's connect, let's raise the vibration, and do some cool stuff together. That's me. I'm over and out. Thank you, guys. I love you all.
This is how we do it.
Yes. All right, we've got a new sound effects person. All right, thank you for that, Clint. That was super interesting. I feel like it went quiet. No one wanted to follow you. It was too good. All right, Sammy, you jump in. I know you got to go in a second. Have heaps of experience here, so I'm keen to get your insights.
Oh, thank you so much for having me up. Okay, so 23 years ago, myself and a friend of mine down there, we kind of cut our teeth in a genre called trip hop, which, as y'all know, is not exactly super popular. It wasn't incredibly popular then. It's not super popular now. But the thing I did to create community was always, always, always make a path so that my music could be digested for free. And that's created a community that has not only come with me down this journey, they've begun to pass my music down to other generations, which has just been absolutely gobsmackingly wonderful to witness and behold. And I think the key to Web3 is to somehow utilize that, right, with our ability to go one-on-one with fans, to really connect with people who connect with our music. That's something really, really special that not a lot of other places offer. And it can get scary at times. if downright like knee shakingly awful occasionally. But those moments are few and far between. And for the most part, it's been amazing hearing the light and love and positivity that's come from listeners and lovers of these tunes, especially when you run into people who say, I remember you from 20 years ago when you released, your first album, Definition of Imperfection. And how unreal is that to run into fans who have followed you all the way to Web3. And I believe that's a possibility, not even a possibility. That's what we should be aiming and striving for, because again, we have the opportunity now to engage in a way that we've never been able to engage before.
I love that. Anyone jump in?
Yeah, I was going to say, I love you, Sammy. You know that, and you're dead right. It's how we interact and how that one-on-one personalized connection with your fans, and for the fans as well, because I'm not a musician. So for me, as a fan of all of these musicians, for me to be able to connect one-on-one to the musician is game-changing, right? And we need to focus on how do we get that to the next level. And I hate to use the term we are early, and I use the phrase, we're not early, we are here at the exact perfect right time to build what needs to be built to progress Web3 as we move into Web 5, Web 7 and Web 10, right? So everyone in this room, whether you're an artist, a listener, a host or a co-host, we are the pioneers of the Web3 space. What we do today by coming together and uniting and growing together gets to decide what the future of this space looks like. And, Clint, some of the things you said resonate so much with me as a founder. My business partner and I held a Twitter space every Friday night for 17 weeks called Music, Marketing and Metaverse. And we asked the musicians to come in and tell us what they wanted from the Web3 space and the metaverse, not what we wanted to give back to them, but we asked them, and we took like 40 pages of notes on what the musicians stated they wanted for Web3 and the metaverse moving forward. Hence why we've built MetaRides, hence why MetaRides Radio exists inside our vehicles and our gaming platforms. And it's just so important that we connect one-on-one to these musicians and get their ideas. Ask them, what do you want to see? What is going to work for you in Web3? And every musician has a different idea. I think over the journey of that 17 weeks, I would say we average about 150 people in that space each night. And there's a few people that used to come to that space religiously, like Extinct down in the audience. And we asked them, tell us what you want from the metaverse. Tell us what you want from Web3 moving forward. And, Clint, I'd love to get... you're in Perth, Clint?
Yeah, mate, I just seen a message that you sent me quite a while ago. Apologies, I didn't get back to you, but yeah, I am based in Perth. Where are you?
I'm in Perth, man. I would love to get together with you and sit down and go through this, and dot the I's and cross the T's and see what value from the information we collected can help you add value to what you guys are doing. Because this is not a space where there's competition, and information I've collected from musicians is going to be kept sacred. I want to share that as far and as wide as we can. So if the information we collected by having those sessions with the musicians helps Massive in any way, then I want to share that with you guys and help you develop something that is, state of the art and puts you at the top of the agenda when people are talking about, music platforms. So whatever I can do to help you guys, just let me know, man.
Sounds fantastic, mate. Let's do the old in real life thing, and maybe you can come and have a coffee with Mark Shea and I in the office in South Fremantle, Western Australia. How about that?
Yeah, man, I'll make my way down there. I'm in Caversham, so I'm at the other end of the spectrum up in the Swan Valley. But we can get together, man, anytime.
Let's do it.
I'll hit you up in the DMs, man.
Sounds good. Cheers, mate.
More connections. Love it.
I was just going to say, guys, I just put the tweet. Alice is joining Massive in the tweet for the space. Get amongst it, like it, retweet it, comment on it.
Oh, let me pin it here.
Well, I haven't even looked at my notifications. Yay!
Bow, bow, bow. That's a Darius sound right there. I'm coming in. I don't know how to use the soundboard, so pew pew pew.
All right, should we play a track?
Yes, sorry, digress. We digress. Let's play some music.
All right, J Streets, you've been waiting super patiently. We do have your tracks here. Which one do you want us to play, man?
Yeah, you could start with Sanitizer on,
All right. All right, you want to introduce it?
Yeah, Sanitizer is a song. I just wrote it to fit your mood. Like, when I wrote this song, I was depressed. Like, okay, so I had to write my song. I had to write myself out of the depression. And I started writing. It was like a freestyle, though. I wasn't really ready for it because I just picked the paper and just write some things down. Then I just start singing. And I feel like the song has a special way of connecting to people, like anyone in kind of a sad mood. I've been there before. Depressed, I've been there before. Man, yeah. But I see the song is gonna like, it's relatable, yeah. Sanitizer, and it's also available on Web3 music for now. I'm just gonna go and play it in spaces and just get myself familiar with the sound. Yeah, you guys should really check it out. Yeah, yeah, I think you can take it now, you can take over now. Um, how can someone hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Sorry, as ever, subscribe. So yeah, that's about the Sanitizer. And you see, once you listen to Sanitizer, you're gonna get your heart clean. You're gonna sanitize your heart and get refreshed. That's it. I mean, that's how I'm doing my music. I just want you to get out of the mood, any mood you're feeling like, even in a bad mood, play it like, and it will still relate to you and still like give you hope and bad things. You all love me. Yeah.
All right, let's spin it. All right, this is Sanitizer by J Streets.
This bitch is here with another one. My appetizer, my sanitizer. Yeah, yeah. Oh, girl, you the finer. I take you around the world, and I'll be your advertiser. Girl, you finer. Look what you done to me. DJ is paining me. You did the story my body. Yeah, give me one time. See as you find. If I me show my family come. I never wanna see you cry, baby. Oh. See, supernatural being, you deserve me attention. And I don't wanna be the cause of attention. Nah. Save me, mama. She is kind of my appetizer, my sanitizer. Yeah, yeah. Oh, girl, you the finer. I take you around the world, and I'll be your advertiser. Girl, you finer. Look what you done to me. This shit is killing me inside. I know you want me. I want you to. I know you want cruise, yeah. And I want cruise too. Girl, know they tell me. Cause your body so tempting. Even if I don't get money, girl, I promise to show you good loving. I wanna ride with you, girl. Yeah. So you can give me all of you. Yeah. If you want my corner, I go give you the cocoa. And if them do anyhow, I go knock them the popo. Can you be my appetizer, my sanitizer? Yeah, yeah. Oh, girl, you're the finer. I take you on the world, and I'll be your advertiser. You're the finer. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Look what you done to me. Yeah, this shit is killing me inside. Joe, yeah. This bitch is here with another one. Nah, nah. I don't know. Joe.
Yeah, all right. Thank you. That was dope, man. Thank you.
That was great.
Yeah, thank you. Hope you enjoy the music and hope you find it relatable to any kind of situation you're in, like any kind of mood. Right. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to put my music out there and to be able to connect to other communities. And for me, it's a really great pleasure, man. I really appreciate, man. You're doing good. Thank you. I'm grateful for that. And everyone in the space, thank you for enjoying my music. Yeah, I'll just take it from here. Thank you.
Thanks for jumping on stage, man. Really appreciate it. We are going to wrap up in like 10 minutes or so. If anyone wants to play a track, jump in. Or if anyone just wants to talk music or talk anything, please do jump in. Go for it, Wale.
I would like to play my one track from my first album. I drop it in the comment section. I cannot play it from here because I'm outside. I don't know if you Massive could play it. It's a little bit different from the tracks that have been played till now. That's something experimental. Would like to share it with you if it's possible. It's YouTube videos. Otherwise, I can send it per the DM.
All right, sorry. Shay was talking to me and I tuned out, if I'm being honest. Apologies. Yeah, so you're going to drop the song in the comments, Wale, is that right? We can spin
Yeah,
that. Awesome.
yeah. This is a comment session. It's a YouTube video. It's in Italian, so that will be it will sound a little bit weird maybe for you because that's in
Not
Italian, but that's
I know 3 Italian words, so I'm sure it'll be great.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm rambling now. Let me. I'm trying to do 2 things at once. Okay, people talk among yourselves while I try to find this. We'll figure this out. Tech.
Hello, I'm here. Sammy, you were going to sing Ghost for us. I would love to hear that now.
Sure. Are you sure? Because I know somebody else was trying to go.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, I'm gonna step outside because it gets kind of loud, so I apologize for the birdies. There's a ghost that's been haunting this place, hiding in walls and barriers that I'd finally almost erased. Resentment resides rent free in his heart. Rage replaced apathy and drove us apart. Well, at least Ghost knows that I tried. And a girl only handles so much crying. Ghost, he knows why I hide. Tired of his need for fighting. Tilly, that's how I know that he's near. Better tread lightly while I'll stay aware. And how could I believe that he ever cared? But a broken doll and all that she fears. Ghost, may I ask you something strange? Not expecting an answer, though I'll ask all the same. Why do you blame me for sins of past love? Forcing apologies for deeds I've not done. Well, at least Ghost knows that I tried. And a girl only handles so much crying. Ghost, he knows why I hide. tired of his need for fighting. Maybe tonight he'll decide, well, to open up and confide. Maybe tonight he will make a sound and stop pretending as though I'm not around. Maybe tonight he'll find his voice and I'll hear it if I have a choice. Maybe tonight he will understand why I turned away from him and ran. Maybe tonight won't feel so damn cold. I'm way too tired and far too old. Maybe tonight will be the start. Forgive each other for falling apart. Ghost, 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 where is it that you go? Ghost, my lovely ghost, when reflections and mirrors show that of your greatest foe. Well, at least ghost knows that I tried, and a girl only handles so much crying. Ghost, he knows why I hide. I'm so tired of his need for fighting. Yeah, I'm so tired of his need for fighting.
Woo!
Wow, goosebumps, so beautiful.
Amazing.
Thank you so much. That's a Cadence and the Coda joint. The band that I'm in, along with Johnny Invisible and Simon Johns. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Hey, Songs of Eden, did you want to jump in, and then we'll cue up Wales track?
Yeah. First, I just want to say thank you for co-hosting. I don't know why I became a co-host, but thank you for that.
You're
And
just that
second,
important to us.
Second, I just want to say, Sammy, you're so amazing. Oh, I love you. Thank you for being a friend. Thank you for being an amazing person, an amazing musician. And then the third thing I wanted to say is that I can play Wales song, but I guess someone else could play it for him.
Yeah, you do it. You can do it. It'll probably be better on your setup, I'd say.
Yeah, I just need to know where to find the link then, I guess. Maybe, Whale, can you, if you're still there, could you DM it, then I can play it from my end?
Yeah, sure, but I'm doing it right now. That's it. And I just have to find the way to send by direct message and do it. So, song. Yeah. Then you should have the link to my track now in your direct message.
Well, I got your track now. I'm gonna play it for you now. Oh, sorry, trying to make a remix.
That
sounds
was
amazing.
Amazing. Gold records.
Okay, let's see if there is any ads. Oh, no, there's not. Okay, cool. Here it comes.
Contro l'ostentata ignoranza, contro il menefrego del crociato, contro chi si arma di paura, la mia voce come il cannone, arma da artiglieria non portabile in acciaio dalla grande gittata. Se l'uomo ne diviene il proiettile, è carne da cannone. Contro l'oppressione del dissenso ed il controllo, privo di controllo, contro il regime del guardiano. La mia voce, come il cannone.
Hola, 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 hola. Wow! Ma tu sei italiano, Wild?
Sono italiano, sì. Chi parla? Non lo
Ma
vedo qui.
sono io, Giuliano, ma non lo sapevo che sei italiano, per Dio! Ma questo è fantastico,
Incredibile.
Dio!
È
Ah, meraviglioso!
incredibile.
Sorry, guys, I could not contain that. He's from my home, my countryside, so it's amazing. I just discovering now. That's amazing! Oh my goodness! The sound
That's
was
great.
amazing.
That's an incredible surprise for me. I didn't know that you were Italian. I guess I
Ma
saw that
certo
you
che
were.
sì!
Ma incredibile.
Sono di Roma, eh?
Io sono di Firenze. I'm from
Ma
Florence. So
pensate.
that's
Neighbors.
a surprise of Web3 too, I guess.
Absolutely. Sorry, guys. It's like I was so surprised when I hear the notes. You have to understand what he's saying over there, but it's so amazing, and the combination that how he create this. See, that's what's happening in my spaces. We always like play music and speak about the music. So yeah, the way that I meet him in there, he come in one of my space. So I was so amazed. But I never know this guy can be from Italy, because actually he says he's from Germany. So speaks in Deutsch, jawohl. But then I hear Italian and say, what the freak is going on in here? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm actually living in Germany, but I'm Italian. I was born in Italy, and I lived there for most of my life, and then I moved to Germany. But I remain Italian 100%. And thank you for playing the song. It was really a pleasure for me. That's a little bit different from the typical song of Web3, I would say, but that's also my way of being, and that's from my concept album, The Whale's Dream, and that's an album about a society of the future where dreaming is mandatory and people have to dream every day the same way and be influenced by advertising. That's a little bit what happened on social network, where you have your dreams, your influencer, which represent the dream of a success. And then at the same time, you get influenced by the advertising they are advertising. And it was a little bit, that's a track that it's some kind of a propaganda song I wrote for as a part of this concept album. If you want to check it, it's all links are in the YouTube video I post in the comment. So thank you very much for your time. And Juliana, it's a pleasure to know, Julian, sorry, it's a pleasure to know another Italian artist in space.
And everybody should watch it on YouTube, because the video gave it just another dimension. I was watching it here on YouTube. So yeah, go do that for Whale Song.
I'm agree with you. I think every time you create a soundtrack and you put a video in there, it's changed totally the perspective and the vibe and the feeling. So people can not only hear it, but they also have the visual, and I understand your thoughts in there. What do you want to express with that music, right? Because for many of us, music is music, but for those who really understand music, not only hear to the notes and the combination and the instrument they put in there, when they have a visual in there, it's amazing. Everything is changed, man. But yeah, I'm so happy to discover another Italian in the States, man. Come on, andiamo belli.
And just a small little detail, the actor in the video is an autistic guy, which who has been discovered by my cousin, and actually is on tour with his own theater piece, and he accepted to be part of my video. Is amazing in my opinion, because it's not easy to work with him, but he's really a nice, super nice guy, and he was really excited to do the video for me. And I think he did a great job in my video. That was not easy to try to express the feeling of the song through his face, and that's through his expressions. And that's I would like to if you can jump into the video and leave a comment, it will be great. So thank you.
Thank you. We got a bunch of hands up. My battery on my phone is getting low, so and we want to send this out with an Alice special song she's going to play us too. So King of Accra, do you want to jump in? Welcome, by the way. Hello. Was I just on mute or not?
No, you weren't on mute.
Oh, okay. Do you want to jump in, Craig?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to say before you shut down the space, I just wanted to say thank you to you and Shay and Clint for facilitating an amazing space for all the musicians in Web3, and for what you guys are bringing to the table in terms of your platform. And, just give you guys some flowers and say, we love what you're doing. We look forward to seeing this platform, take off and be a awesome platform for musicians to enhance their time here in Web3. So anything I can do, let me know. And any musicians also that want to get on MetaRides Radio in the metaverse, just hit me up in the DMs and let me know. So it's free and it's royalty free also. So 100% of all sales go straight back to you, the musician. Let's go, people.
Thank you, Craig. Really appreciate that. Looking forward to meeting IRL. King of Accra, any words for us? All right, building the suspense. Does anyone, we will take it out with a song from Alice soon. Does anyone want to jump in? Any final thoughts or words? Thank you, everyone, for jumping up on stage today. Thank you, everyone, for listening in. Songs of Eden, jump in.
Yeah, I just want to invite everybody real quick on Sunday, if you're around. I don't know if you're aware, but within my community, the MIDI Punks, we created a collab song with 35 people on the same song. And on Sunday, we're going to record a metaverse video covering spatial on cyber and Decentraland. And we just got our own MIDI Punks avatar and dance routine created. So feel free to join on Sunday and be part of Web 4 history, no Web 3 history. You're all welcome. Much love, guys.
Thank you. Thanks again to everyone for joining, for jumping on stage. Please do keep supporting each other, keep following each other, buy everyone's NFTs, listen to everyone's music. Let's just keep chatting, connecting, and we are here every week, so keep an eye out for more spaces. Thank you again to everyone. Alice, please take us out with one of your dope acoustic tracks. Introduce us. Appreciate you all. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys for always hosting such a rounded space. There's been so many topics covered and I feel very full for the day of goodness. So well done, everyone. There's so much, just different personalities here, which I feel really have blended really beautifully together. So excited to be part of Massive. I am at the end of my answers collection. There's just a very few NFTs left. So if you like my music, I'm actually doing a giveaway that ends tomorrow, which you can actually win an NFT of the song that I'm about to perform. So go to my pin tweet and you can see what the deal is there. So yeah, I'm going to play you a song. This is the Talking Palm Tree, but acoustic version. My roots are in piano and I used to perform at weddings and hotels. So yeah, this year I kind of really got back to kind of stripping my songs down to their essence. So this is the Talking Palm Tree acoustic. Thank you so much, guys. Let me just plug in. Okay. Give me a thumbs up.
Yeah, we got you.
Cool. Here we go. Never seen a place, never been like this one here. Crystals falling down, kinda like on Jupiter. Mirrors everywhere, reflecting back all of our fears. Yeah. And there's faces not like us, swear we've landed in utopia. Ooh, 'cause we're in freedom, and this is what it feels like. Freedom, and this is what it feels like. Picked an apple from the tree of life, no one saw. Yeah, we tried to push the boundaries. They all clapped their hands and cheered us on. Oh. Ooh, they cheered us on. Oh, they cheered us on. Get a taste of freedom. Have a beautiful day, guys.
Oh my God, you're amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Check out Massive.fan as well if you're curious too. We'll be back again next week. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Bye. Thank you.